How's it going, everyone? You're watching the Green Dream Project. Jim here. Now this is part 2 of our Rammed Earth Natural Building series. So without further ado, we're going to get right back to it and see what else Ray Clamons has to say about Rammed Earth. All right, let's go. So have you personally lived or spent time living in a rammed earth structure?
I haven't. It's my dream. It's still a dream. But I visited a few. This project is that kind of project to say what's going right, what's going wrong, and how do we learn from this and incorporate that into the houses that we build next as we grow as a business, as we get into doing bigger structures. What can we learn from this project that is going to make those projects better? Yeah, I wish I could say yes. I've lived in a rammed earth house since I was a kid, but it's not like that. And I guess I come from this from an architect's standpoint, right? So going through architecture school, you learn all the things that architects like, and rammed earth is one of the things that architects love. I haven't had that opportunity to live in one or even known anybody. It's kind of a rare thing too. A rammed earth house is a little bit of a rare thing, because it does take so much effort to build one. I'd like to see more of them, and I think it's grown over the last 10 years, even 15 years since I built that house in college in 2005. And I see a lot more rammed earth happening. If you live in a rammed earth house, give me a call and let me know what your experience is.
For people looking to get into rammed earth, any advice that you would look to give people looking to get into that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my number one advice right now that I'm giving people is, everybody says start small, right? You think, let's start small, right? And this building was my let's start small thought, right? 2 years later, we're still working on it, right? So my advice to everybody is start smaller. And then probably whatever you think that is, start even smaller than that. Do that all the way down to like the smallest thing you can do, right? And I have some examples. I've developed some tools that I share, and one of the little walls that I did on Derek's channel was that start smaller. So build yourself a little wall this big, right? Mix yourself one bucket full of dirt, build a little tiny wall, and that's your start smaller. Right, from there you have a little bit of experience with dirt in your hands, how it tamps in, what that feels like when it's tamping fully, what it feels like when it's too wet or too dry. And then I'd say go from there into a bench, and then from there into a bigger bench, and from there into a more beautiful bench, and from there into a wall. Go up to a 6-foot wall, try an 8-foot wall, and then from there you have what you need to really expand into the big market of building a house. Yeah, start a fire pit, build yourself a fire pit with some benches, and think about what your house wants to be, and then start getting into building your house, someday down the line.
So definitely get some experience under your belt before deciding to build a house.
I think so. If you're gonna do it yourself, definitely. And I think it's just like any of these natural materials. You want to build some small stuff, go to some workshops, get a little more comfortable and confident with it before you start building your house. When you start building your house, you're going to have mistakes, and you probably want to minimize those mistakes as much as possible. So get some experience first, and that'll break down those barriers of how do we actually work with this stuff. So don't do your first wall as your house wall. Do something else first.
Any other parting advice?
Some parting advice or some other things to consider is just read more about the rammed earth process. Go find the different books that are out there. That's how I've gotten most of my knowledge, is through books. I haven't gone to any workshops yet, and one of the things that there's a barrier in the workshops that they can cost a lot, up to $1,200, $1,700, maybe $700 for the weekend. I've seen there's one around here. And also part of what I'm doing is trying to offer those at a more affordable rate. You don't have to go to those workshops. You can buy the books and read the books and watch videos like this, and there's some other videos where we're more involved with the action. But the number one book that I've used is is A Rammed Earth House by David Easton. And there's 2 volumes of it. There's a number 1 volume that I've had for a long time, and I read through that multiple times, and just recently got the 2nd volume, and it has a lot more modern ideas in it. Or the first book was from 97, and the second book was from 2007. So he's got 10 years of experience and finding everybody else in the US and the world that are working on rammed earth buildings and sharing some of that. And actually some of the buildings in Tucson are in that book, and they talk about there's a Tucson style for formwork where people here use a certain type of formwork. There's a California style of formwork that they developed, that David Easton and his crew at Rammed Earth Works, they developed that. So yeah, his company's Rammed Earth Works, and they do like the best rammed earth in the world. So if you're looking for inspiration or how to do this kind of stuff right, Rammed Earth Works is the place to look. There's other rammed earth books out there also. Martin Raunch, but he's a Austrian guy, and he does some of the best unstabilized rammed earth in the world. His book is kind of expensive, but I'm looking to get that someday. It's like $80. So I have to get a couple more projects under my belt to pick up that book. But the David Easton book, I think it's $30, and it's worth it. So read that. Just go out there and try it. Don't worry if it's going to fall over or if it's going to be perfect. Don't worry. Just go do it, and the next one will be better. And the next one will be better, and the next one will be better. So don't be afraid to start. Start smaller, and just go out and do it if you want to do it. I have these little ancient Chinese proverbs that I make up. One of my favorite ones is, do what you want to do, and you will be doing it. So if you want to do rammed earth, just go do it, and you will be doing it.
That's pretty good. When are you coming out with your own book, Ray?
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. And I have a book in my head, you know, and I think a lot of the work that I'm doing with people, with rammed earth and natural building materials, and the different ideas of compassion and community that I'm bringing into this, and layering that on top of the natural building, I think that's an important thing to highlight and to talk about more, because when we do this kind of work, we all kind of feel it and we all kind of get it, that when we come together and build in a natural building material way, that we all have this connection. This community grows right away. We have this personal connection because we believe in natural building already, and then we come together and become friends, and you find people that get it and people that want to do this kind of work, and so we're like-minded, and we create this community all of a sudden. So I'm trying to highlight that and bring more attention to that through some stuff, you know, through the workshops that we do at Natural Building Works, and the programs that I'm developing to bring to organizations to say, are you looking for leadership training or team building? Then come work with us, and we can show you some natural building materials and how that works together, and teach you how to be more compassionate leaders and more community-oriented people. And hopefully that kind of thing you're gonna take that home and spread that to other people in your life, and the world around us is going to become a more compassionate place and a better place that we want to live in, and to kind of dissolve some of the fear and the anxiety that we see kind of growing in the world right now, and just work in a compassionate way and say, you know, we're in this together. Let's do it together then.
I like that unique perspective to building that you bring.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thanks.
Well, Ray, I really appreciate you taking time to talk about rammed earth and spreading a little bit of that knowledge around. Thank you, sir.
Hey, you're welcome. I'm happy to share. And, you know, I'm happy to share. I've just been learning as I go, so I'll share what I've learned so far. Yeah, we're just naturalbuildingworks.com.
Naturalbuildingworks.com.
Yeah, go there, sign up for the newsletter, and get updates on volunteer and workshop efforts.
Naturalbuildingworks.com. Check it out.
There we go. There we go. This guy is my little guy. I built this one almost by myself, and then a group of a couple of 12 and 15-year-olds came over and they helped me finish it. Actually, a 7-year-old was on that group too. But anyway, this is a good example of how to start small how to start at that, like you built one this big, now let's build one this big. And you can do this by yourself. Just a couple of pieces of plywood and screw it together, and then build yourself a little bench just to do something, you know, just to get started with something. And don't worry if it's, you know, great or not great. It's a little thing. You could knock it over if it's no good. You could leave it if you did a good job. And it just becomes this little thing that you can sit on all of a sudden. Now you have something that's got you up off the ground, and it could be just what you need.
So that was Ray Clamons of Natural Building Works. Just a font of knowledge. He has a lot of experience with building with rammed earth. A great resource here in the Tucson area. If you live in southern Arizona and you want to learn more about rammed earth, he's definitely one to reach out to about that. Now, Ray talked a lot about different books. Ray talked about a lot about different courses you can take, different workshops you can take, and all of these are going to be a lot of money. Ray Clamons has actually worked with Derek Howlett, and they put together these really nice rammed earth basics courses. So if you want to really get your hands on with some rammed earth, but you're still not 200% sure, you can get these courses. They're available for, I think, $20 and $30 each, respectively. What a really great deal for some great knowledge. The video on that is just amazing. I might be a little biased because we got to help out on the rammed earth benches that you find on those courses, but just amazing knowledge. I'll put a link to those courses down below. Go check that out if you're interested in rammed earth. So thanks a lot for watching, everyone. Please give this video a thumbs up if you found it interesting. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Share it with a friend or two because they want to learn more about rammed earth. Trust me on this. And as always, you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. All right, thanks a lot for watching, everyone. Bye.